This is the Jabberjaw Podcast Network. Visit jabberjawmedia.com for more shows like this one.
My girlfriend has a crew cut and a tail. We met and fell in love when we were Sallies at the county jail. She wears the pants, she's the boss. I give her my love and my special sauce.
That hefty little ditty is by the Barbarella Tones. Pick up their music on Amazon, Last.fm, and CD Baby.
This episode would like to be sponsored by Mountain Dew Label Series. Unleash the intensity of the newest and boldest dew, now crafted in 3 incredible flavors in 16-ounce cans, including Black Label Dark Berry, Green Label Green Apple Kiwi, and White Label Tropical Citrus. Do the Dew. Sponsor this podcast. Welcome to Friend or Foe.
What's up?
I would love to give just a huge welcome to my very special guest, Veer Das.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here, Veer.
Thank you.
You are, as I was just mentioning to you before we started, you're already on the Machine Gun Tour.
Yes.
You're hitting Conan tomorrow night.
I'm
That's really
doing
exciting.
Conan tomorrow
Have
night,
you done
yes.
Conan before?
I have never done American television before, so that should be interesting.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting.
It is. It is.
Conan's a wild man.
He's about 9 feet taller than I am. So I'm a very short Indian man. He's very tall, so it should be interesting.
Yeah, and all that red hair, you
Yes.
know, it fills up most of the screen.
Yes.
But so does your personality. I
Thank
was
you.
watching your videos, and you just have the most insane, incredibly funny stuff out there.
Thank
And,
you, man.
Honestly, I gotta pick a bone with you because podcast is the greatest comedy idea I've ever heard of, and I'm super jealous of it.
Thank you,
and
man.
I wish I would have thought of it first.
It's just one of those things that I did because I was like, okay, I'm digitally irrelevant. I have no stand-up on YouTube. I only have like rock stuff on YouTube, and I need to do something for like young kids. And so podcast became that. Yeah. So it's just me in a bathroom with my pants off, reading a newspaper, talking about shit. So yeah. By the way, can I cuss on this thing or can I?
Fuck yes, you can.
Okay, nice. So
Please,
yeah, it's,
feel free.
It's fucking immature comedy, but it's good.
But it's fucking fantastic.
Thank you.
Honestly, it really is. I watched like 15 of them in a row because I started watching one. I was like, yeah, this is pretty funny. And
Thank you,
and
man.
you were doing the whole Donald Trump thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, that was pretty great. And biscuits. Let's talk biscuits.
So I like biscuits, and I do this segment called Veer Das Eating Biscuits, which is literally just me eating biscuits. You'd think it would be more, and there'd be more thought put into it, but no. It's just me finding different ways to shittily eat a biscuit.
But you don't really need any more than that.
I don't need any more.
Because you're so much fun to watch.
Thank you.
And who doesn't like biscuits?
Who doesn't like biscuits? Yeah.
All the time.
Or as you
honestly.
Americans call them, you call them cookies.
Cookies.
Yes.
That's right. Yes, I'm an Oreo man myself.
There you
Double
go.
stuff. That's
Really?
You know, I am. You know, I make my girlfriend and everyone really upset with me because I have insane metabolism. It's
Okay.
just I just can't help it. I'm, you know.
Well, how old are you?
I'm 37.
Oh, so we're the same age. Okay. So
Yeah.
then fuck you. Then that's fine. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
If you were like 21, I'd be like, okay, your time will come. But
Yeah.
you're 37, then definitely fuck you. So
Right back at you.
all right.
So tell me the Veer Das story. What is the Veer Das legend?
The Veer Das legend.
Yes.
Good Lord. I'm a guy who wants to do things with people. And
Good.
And that's the end of it. No, I'm kidding. Okay. I grew up in Africa, in boarding school in India, college in the US. Kind of started doing stand-up when I was 23 or 24. Since then, been doing a combination of stand-up, Bollywood movies, a little bit of television in India, and I'm about 9.5 years into stand-up, and that's when I felt like, the time was right to kind of try and crack the American market. So this is hopefully the beginning of what will be a long session in the American market. We'll see.
I think you're past hopeful at this point. Honestly, from what I've seen, I mean, you're already making a pretty incredible mark.
Well, I mean, all of this stuff has happened really fast. I got to be honest with you. It's been a year and a half. So in a year and a half, a year and a half ago, a movie got cancelled, and I was like, okay, let me come to LA and just meet some people and see if there's room for me over here. In a year and a half, got signed by CAA, got signed by Levity, got a Netflix special. So none of us can really, comprehend how fast it's all really happening. So, it's going to slow down at some point, but we'll see.
Not for a long time, though, right? That's the plan, obviously.
I hope so.
Yeah. So how did you? What was the genesis of your stand-up? Where did that come from for you?
I was in a boarding school that was sort of an ex-military academy, so it was really tough, like ex-British military academy boarding school in India, which was this very break you down and build you up in a certain vanilla image. And I used to get in trouble a lot because I couldn't keep my mouth shut. And finally, the teachers kind of got so irritated with me. They were like, you know what, he's not going to fucking shut up. Let's put him in debating, or let's put him in dramatics. Let's put him, in places where at least all of this energy can come down a little bit. And that's when I remember, being 7 years old and realizing that I'm kind of socially awkward. I'm kind of anxious in real life, but on a stage, I don't feel much fear, or as much fear as I feel in daily life. So since then, it was just anything on a stage I was ready to do throughout my life. And then when I was 21, I was in my final year of college in the US, and I'd done drama school. So it was, 4 years of fucking Stanislavski and massaging each other's shoulders and sitting in a circle and crying and, all of that shit. And I was kind of fried. So I wrote a show called Brown Men Can't Hump. Because there was a movie called White Men Can't Jump. And so I did a stand-up show in my senior year. So, the first time people do stand-up, it's usually, 4 or 5 minutes. I did 90.
Wow.
For 800 people. The first time I ever did stand-up. And it went really well, which was sort of a big disservice you can do yourself. Because, you come off stage and going, I'm the shit. I know how to do this now. And then you discover that it was just friends and you were telling inside jokes and therefore it was funny and you're actually quite shitty. So yeah, that's how stand-up began.
Right. You get your own kick in the ass very, very fast.
Yes.
But that instant gratification is such a wonderful, powerful, such an incredible thing.
Mm-hmm.
And us as performers, we live for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I did my first stand-up pretty recently, considering, and I know you were mentioning just performing at the Improv with Jeff Ross, who is a really cool guy, and I've given him props before on the show, and I'll give him props again because the my first time going up. Well, it was rough. I'll all right.
As it should be.
It
should be.
It was pretty rough. I had some semblance of material that I had put together, but it ended up turning into a big Dr. Evil impression that just went on really long. And after my set, I didn't realize that it was already really late into the night, and Jeff Ross was performing at the end of the night to prepare his jokes for the roast of Justin Bieber.
Okay.
So he came up and said, give this guy a round of applause. He needs it.
Which is very kind and bitchy, but still kind.
Yeah. That's the kind of guy he is.
Yeah.
So it was pretty awesome. I did watch far too many. I just kept watching your videos, and I really you're a rocker too. Let's how long have you been doing music?
I do really good impression of a rocker. I think I've been doing music for about 10 years. I was in a band in college, and that I think all comedians are essentially failed rock stars. You know what I mean? We couldn't play an instrument, but we wanted the same love from audiences and ladies, and so we did stand up. But I just kind of fell into this 2-man band with a guy called Keza about 10 years ago. We started writing songs, and then suddenly one of the best drummers in the country came by to a show, and he was like, I think this is a thing. And so now I have like this 6-piece legit rock band with legit rockers, and I'm like the most amateurish part of that band. My band's called Alien Chutney, and we're one of
I
like
love it.
3 comedy rock bands in India. So yeah, but we're less like I'd say we're less Axis of Awesome or less Flight of the Conchords. We're more Tenacious D. So we actually
Right.
play music. So yeah.
I was watching you at one of the festivals, and you were doing a pretty incredible Game of Thrones.
Yes, we have a Game of Thrones song. Yeah, because I'm a fan. Yeah.
As you should be.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I lose a million nerd points because I'm way behind on Game of Thrones. And by
Really?
way behind, I've only seen a couple episodes, which I know all of my listeners are like throwing vegetables at their.
But what's your jam then? What's your show?
I'm a Silicon Valley guy,
Nice. Okay.
which just came back.
Okay.
Really excited about that.
Nice.
I'm a big nerd.
Okay.
I should be watching Game of Thrones, and I know that I should, but I just.
But look, at the end of the day, you're talking to an Indian person. In India, there are no nerds, by the way. Like, it's a very American thing, like where you have nerds and jocks and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
In India, we're all nerds. You know what I mean? We can all fix a computer, and we've all got good IQs, and so yeah, there's no nerds in India at all. Yeah,
Well, we're coming around.
done.
It's we're coming around. It's been a very slow burn, but I think the nerds are definitely taking over, and we've definitely taken back the ideal of a nerd or geek or dork, which I don't really. That's the
Yeah, yeah. It feels like a very American high school
It is.
invention.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
absolutely, yeah.
And I'm not sure once you graduate from high school how much that really applies in life. Does it or does it not?
For me, it did.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
I was still getting my head stuck in toilets far after college, but
Wow. Okay. All right.
not really, but
Okay, yeah,
figuratively, as it was.
Because after
you know.
college, that's a crime, pretty much. Like you can
That's,
press charges
well,
for that
it,
shit.
Well, it should be. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Twilight.
Yeah.
What are your feelings on Twilight?
I feel like it's the reason America gets attacked by different countries is because you make shitty movies like Twilight. Just make Whiplash. Keep making Whiplash.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Everyone likes J.K. Simmons.
Like, I work in Bollywood and I think Twilight is unrealistic. That's how unrealistic your films are.
It's pretty terrible.
It is, yeah.
I tried to watch the first movie just to get through it and say that
Yeah.
I've watched it. Same thing with 50 Shades of Grey, and they both ended the
I
same way,
have
which
not
was
seen
yeah.
either.
Don't bother.
Okay.
Trust me.
All right.
It's
I feel like though realistic movies just don't work anymore. You know what I mean? I feel like it's either Avengers or animation that's getting people to the theaters. You know what I mean?
the big blockbusters.
The big blockbusters. Like,
Right.
The little film is fun and wins an Oscar, but nobody's really seeing that film anymore, and it's a shame.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I was actually rooting for Lion.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it.
I haven't, but a friend of mine, Priyanka Bose, is in there. So she plays Dev Patel's mom, like
Right.
the real mom. So yeah.
It's an incredible film.
Oh, nice.
It really is, and I've always enjoyed Dev's work, and Nicole Kidman was, absolutely fantastic as she usually is. And
Yeah, I'm just waiting though for like the fun movie to be shot in India. I feel like every time Americans shoot a movie in India or Britishers shoot a movie in India, it's this very poignant. Oh, look, they struggled and now they're wow, and
Right.
Oh, they're old and they're in
so
this
let's
hotel.
make it now. So let's make it, Veer.
There should be like
what
an-
kind of movie would you like to make?
So okay, I was in a
let's pitch
movie
it.
called Delhi Belly, right, which is
Uh-huh.
like the Indian Hangover, if you will.
Yeah.
So look, Americans, what you need to understand about Indian people is you only give us two options as far as reputations go. We're either smart or spiritual. You think all Indians are either like running Google or fucking Deepak Chopra, and you don't allow room for like pot smoking Indians and stupid Indians and crime committing Indians and just regular people, of which that's the majority of our country. So just make some badass movies in India as well, please.
Well, let's put it together here and now.
Done.
Let's put all of that stuff in one movie.
Okay.
Right. We'll make the next. It'll be Harold and Kumar-esque.
Nice.
Right.
Cool. So, because it's American, you know what I mean? You'll need like a legit Hollywood star, right? So the
I
lead,
think I'm looking at him, Veer.
yeah, so no, like you need a white guy basically, right? so that because the studio will greenlight it. So okay, so white guy shows up in India, and gets shot, and and dies. So now Indian actors can take over. You see where I'm going? So now
Okay.
we're in a good space. All right. So now Leonardo DiCaprio is dead, and the body goes missing
Uh-oh.
in India, and now the fucking FBI show up
There you go.
to find their Hollywood star who's in India, and then madness ensues with Indian actors.
With Indian actors, yes.
There you go.
Right.
I think it's a hit.
I love it.
In your face, Moonlight. All right, yeah.
Moonlight.
I haven't seen it though, but I
I
believe it's the best film of like the last 3 years.
also pretty incredible.
Nice.
Yeah, it was very well done.
I had a lot of people talking to me about La La Land, and they were like, "Oh, it's like Hollywood's Bollywood," and I'm like, "It's not Hollywood's Bollywood." Like,
Dude, I got to tell you, I did not like La La Land.
Yeah?
I just, I get it. I want to like it.
Yeah.
I like Emma Stone. I like Ryan Gosling. Well, it was Ryan Gosling,
Yes, it
right?
was, yeah.
Ugh. But it was just utter tripe. It really is. I mean, poor Emma Stone, God love her. I know she practiced for a long time, but
Yeah.
she didn't quite get there. She just, yeah, I don't know.
so yeah, like I do Bollywood movies, right, where we sing and dance, and there's spectacles and there's
course.
colors and all of that stuff. So when you tell me that this is Hollywood's Bollywood, I expect a lot more and a bigger spectacle. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the dancing on the cars thing, that was okay.
No,
but
man,
it was,
no, it's not Bollywood. Like you need to up your game. You know what I mean? They need to be like mountains and like a dude with his shirt off and like a girl with like flying fabric running in slow motion.
I would love to see that film.
You know? Yeah. And like explosions and shit. It'd be great.
You've got to have explosions.
Absolutely,
And shit.
yeah.
I'm all about explosions.
Yeah.
What about the Transformers? Well, see, okay. Back to you're talking about the big blockbusters. I totally agree with you. I do watch a lot of independent film.
Mm-hmm.
Really proud to be in the actors union, so they
Yeah.
send me to everything for free, which is really nice. And I
Nice.
get to see a lot of cool things. And I'm really all about the practical effects too, which I really feel like have been so lost.
Yeah.
Obviously, of course, I'm a Star Wars fan,
Yeah.
and I'm loving everything with the further tales of Star Wars.
Yeah, Rogue One and just side stories and all of that.
Good.
Yeah.
But what's making them so great is going back to, the original form, the original visualization of keeping things a little dirty.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need things a little dirty. You don't need them to be all shiny and bright and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, like with the J.J. Abrams Star Trek films. Also a Star Trek fan, and it's just it's too overdone. It's too.
And there's an Indian guy in Rogue One, which is nice. Riz Ahmed is, I think, Indian or Pakistani, which is pretty much the same thing. So yeah.
Who does he play?
He plays the pilot in Rogue One. There's that pilot that gets interrogated by Forrest Whitaker's character.
Yes, right.
So that's Riz Ahmed, who's
Oh, okay.
who's an actor and a rapper, by the way. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Do you rap?
I do not rap. No, I just tell jokes to confused Americans and happy Indians. So, yeah.
I was not confused watching your jokes.
Oh, thank
I was
you.
having a lot of
Thank
fun
you.
with it,
Thank
actually.
you. No, I mean, did you see the trailer for the special, or have you not had a chance?
Yes, of course.
I
I've
should-
tweeted it several times.
Nice. So that was interesting, right? Because we did like this big stadium in India, and then we just did 200 Americans in a comedy club in New York in a basement that had no clue who I was. And that was a special kind of a moment to have
It
those
was a
people.
very special.
Just, I mean, laughter is always great. Selling tickets is always great. Filming a special is always great. But to have 200 people that in the most honest way possible have no clue who you are and what you have to say warm up to you, to me, that's the achievement,
Absolutely. Well, I think everyone's going to know exactly who you are very soon. After tomorrow, for sure.
I don't know. I think it takes a while for people to get into it.
Well, yeah, it'll sift in everyone's brain
Yeah.
pans, you know. You've already been making the podcast rounds.
Yes.
I was, scrolling through Twitter and
Yes.
seeing all the cool shows that
Yeah, I was on Adam Carolla's podcast.
Oh, you just did Adam Carolla.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get him for the show.
All right, okay.
Will happen very soon.
Inshallah. Yeah.
Yeah, Adam's super cool too, and
Yeah.
he's been doing a lot for a long time. I think he has 2 different shows right now. He's got the Building Show, and then his podcast, of course. And
No, he was great. I mean, it was just a nice free-flowing discussion, and it was, we talk comedy and what it means to be Indian in comedy and all of that stuff. It was nice.
what is it to be an Indian in comedy?
I think we're still figuring it out. Like, at least for me, I'm, whether the Netflix special is funny or not is something I don't know. You know what I mean? It's, to be honest, I fucking hope it is. But you're so close to the project now, you have no perspective anymore. The one thing I did worry about when I started to write the special was, let's make it Indian. And let's make it almost unapologetically Indian. Because I feel like being Indian or having an Indian accent has always been a punchline, never the perspective. It's always been this go-to thing for American comedians to get a laugh. So it's, thank you, come again, head bobble, quickie
Welcome
mart.
to the Quickie Mart.
Yeah, right? A slurpy joke and
Yeah.
you get a laugh and you move on. But it's never just been used to say some regular shit. And that's how I preface the special when I go out, is just saying, look, this is how I talk. I'm not doing a bit. I'm not impersonating a relative. There's no fucking Apu from The Simpsons joke coming up. Tonight, we're just going to say real shit in this accent, and that has to be okay with you guys. And the minute you say that to an American crowd or an Australian crowd or a British crowd, it's suddenly just, there's full disclosure and you're kind of on the same page, and it buys you a lot of freedom as well. So I think that's, to me, the future of what it is to be Indian in comedy, is when you hear an Indian and you don't expect the first 5 things that pop into your head stereotypically when you think of an Indian, which, we're all guilty of that when it comes to different races as well, right? You meet a person from a certain place and immediately 5 things you will associate that person with. But when their accent does more than that is when you're truly discovering them, I think.
There's a great song in a Broadway musical I love called Avenue Q.
Okay.
It's Everyone's a Little Bit Racist.
Yeah.
And they they touch on a lot of those points. And
Man, Indians, we claim our lives claiming we're victims of racism. We are just as racist as the rest of the world.
Well,
we really are.
I think it's something to be said that regardless of, where you come from or what your culture is, and I'm not trying to save the world with what I'm saying here, but it's really, it's got to be a mindful thing. We're all humans and we all live on the same planet and we all share it and we all share a lot of the same experiences and, the ups and the downs and the lefts and the rights. And we're just,
I think,
funny is funny.
Yeah, like I talk about it in the show as well, but I think the only solution to racism is conversation, right?
That's right.
I feel like for a long time, as a solution to racism, we've created an environment where everybody's just fucking afraid to say anything. We're all so afraid of offending somebody that we just got silent at some point. And that, I think, propagates more racism in a weird kind of a way. If there's inappropriate shit in your head, say it, get your ass whooped, learn, and never say it again. Figure out why it's wrong instead of being so afraid to speak that you just never say anything at all, but it still subliminally kind of festers into action,
Absolutely. That's PC culture drives me up a wall. It really does. And that's one of the many reasons I have this podcast. Because we can say whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful and amazing. And this has been a really incredible platform to have amazing humans on and talk about whatever happens to come up, and it's all good and it's wonderful, and then it's out there in the world. Much like your comedy, which is very brazen and in your face and shameless.
I think shameless is the most accurate adjective you can use, pretty much. Yeah.
But that's what makes it great. It really does.
You
say whatever you say whatever you want to say, and it's hilarious. And
I get it wrong way more than I get it right. But
thus is the story of a comedian, though. That's you've got to put it out there until you know that it's if it's terrible or wonderful. So you're doing Conan tomorrow night.
Yes.
Where else does your tour?
It's just 4 days in the US doing press, and then I'm on a world tour right now. So I just did an America tour. We did like 40 shows in in 39 days or something.
Wow.
I go to Australia in May. I'm in Scotland in August. I do all of Europe in September, Africa in November, and then East Asia January, and India in February. So yeah,
Incredible. That's quite a trip.
it is. It is. Yeah.
Have you been to any of those places before?
East Asia, yes. Europe, never. Scotland once before, but in Europe, I'm doing like Norway, Oslo, Sweden, Denmark, Belgium, Germany. Just places where I'm not even sure people are going to come out and see me. So, the follow-up to the Netflix special was I wanted to do a world tour, like a legit world tour.
That'll be pretty incredible.
I hope so.
And I've had the fortune of going of traveling through Europe.
Nice.
And I did a tour with a group called Up With People,
Okay.
international performance group, and it's amazing the places you'll see.
Yeah.
And the people you'll meet, of course. We will be right back with Veer Das after this break. Are you a Martian American female or Venusian American male who wishes to sue author John Gray for his simplistic, racist, and sexist book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus? Is his literary masterpiece keeping you from achieving harmony in your dating life or from getting work on this planet? Then call me, Martian Manhunter, at Manhunter and Associates. We specialize in interplanetary law and will make sure that bookworm gets the book thrown at him and is smushed where he belongs. Come ride the comedy train with Paul F. Tompkins, the man who never leaves the house without adorning himself with the finest tailored three-piece suit. During each show, Paul is joined by a special guest who shares a free-form story based on a question posed by the previous week's guest. Then he is joined by his improviser pals who weave a narrative improv, usually utilizing elements from the special guest tale. The whole affair is scored on piano by the ever-talented Eben Schletter. Spontanea Nation can be found on the Earwolf Network with other podcast favorites including Comedy Bang Bang, WTF with Mark Maron, and with special guest Lauren Lapkus. Curious to know all of Paul's previous guests and locations? Then all you need to do is subscribe to Hal Premium, where, for a modest fee, hours of listening pleasure await you. And we're back with Veer Das. Thank you.
Good work on the promos.
Sometimes they get pretty ridiculous. As mentioned, I would love for Mountain Dew to sponsor the show. That would.
Do they not?
Well, not yet.
Okay.
Yet being the key word. Very soon, I suppose at any moment after the show.
Nice. You're just
Thanks
guilting
to
them into
European-
sponsoring your show.
Poke.
Nice.
Yes, exactly. I love the stuff. I shouldn't drink it. I'm very aware that I shouldn't drink it. I just keep drinking it.
It's just caffeine and sadness, right?
That's exactly correct.
All right, cool. Yeah.
Much more sadness
Okay.
than,
Because also mountains don't have dew,
They do not.
by the way. It's just
Do not. That's right.
It's they have snow and then
Caps.
caps and glaciers,
Yes.
but just no dew.
No,
as
not
such,
at all. Yeah.
But I guess
And much like the glacier likes to melt from the mountains and,
Yeah.
kill everyone below, that's kind of what Mountain Dew does to your insides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But
no dew. This is a lie.
No, not at all.
Okay. I feel like I'm fucking up your sponsorship. I'm sorry. All right.
No, this is all great.
right.
I'm sure that they will be calling me at any moment.
Done.
So, all right, 5 years from now, where do you see yourself?
5 years from now, I don't know. I definitely want to be, there's pipe dreams. You want to say, okay, I want to play the Beacon Theatre, or I want to play Carnegie Hall or something like that. Those are things that you dream about. And in my experience, I've been doing this about 9 years in entertainment. You'll always find some different version of that dream working out. It'll never be exactly what you thought it would be. Like I remember when I started doing stand-up, the dream was an HBO special, and then I feel like about 4 years ago, what HBO used to represent in comedy, Netflix started representing that. And then you wanted a Netflix special, right? So things change. I definitely want to still be making movies. I'd love to be making movies in America as well as in India. I think I'd want to direct at some point, maybe direct a movie sometime 3 years from now. That's it.
What kind of movie would you like to direct?
I don't know. I really don't. I'm producing one at the end of the year with my company back home, but to direct something, it really needs to be this passion story that you have with it. You've really got to feel the material. I haven't come across anything just yet,
Could be the Veerdas life story.
I don't want to direct my own life story. What the fuck would I do that? I'm young. I'm still going to act for a while. So no.
And you continue to make music. You said you have a band. Do you
I have a
guys
band.
have any albums?
No albums and such as such. We're doing the Edinburgh Fringe Festival this year with the band. So it'll be nice to kind of go and sing for 13 days. I don't know if, we put out these videos and they tend to go viral and that's fine. But an album, I don't think anybody's going to buy an Alien Chutney album. I don't think anybody's going to buy an album anymore. I don't know if that's still a thing. Do people still buy music?
I do.
Yeah.
I honestly, I really like vinyl. I like the
Texture,
physical
yeah.
manifestation of it. It's a living, breathing
Yeah.
thing. And if you do make an album, Alien Chutney, I will buy it and invite you back on the show.
You'll
and
be one
I'll
of 5 people worldwide who will buy our vinyl.
Excellent. I'm okay being a part of that group because
Done.
I.
It'll be you, my guitarist, my drummer, my pianist, and my bassist. That'll be the 5 people who buy
Okay.
the Alien Chutney vinyl.
Hey, that's totally okay. And then we can have the Game of Thrones cast on
Done.
at the same time.
Yeah, Jon
We'll
Snow
all,
will show up to promote Alien
yeah,
Chutney.
of course.
That'll be a thing.
But I thought he was dead.
No, he's not.
Or is he?
No, the whole cast of Game of Thrones will show up to promote my show because by then Mountain Dew will be sponsoring.
That's right. Exactly.
your
Exactly.
podcast, yeah.
Do the do.
Yeah.
Winter is coming. I'm really excited for you, Veer.
Thank you, man.
I'm so happy that you've got so much happening and it's all coming together. You've been doing this for over 10 years though now, right?
Performing for over 10 years, stand up for about 9.5 or 10 years. That's how long I've been doing it. It's been a trip. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so very much for joining me. I
Thank
really
you for having me
appreciate
on the
it.
show. It was a really fun chat. Thank you so much.
And where can people find you?
You can find me on the corner of... No, I'm just kidding. You can find me... I'm the Veer Das on Twitter. I'm not egotistical, just Veer Das was taken, and that's why it's the Veer Das. I'm Veer Das on Facebook. My website is virdas.in, and Insta is Veer Das as well. So, yeah.
Excellent. And of course, everyone, watch A Broad Understanding on Netflix, which hits tomorrow, April 25th. Find him in all the places across the internet. Watch the hell out of all of his videos because
Please
they're amazing and funny. Check out his band, Alien Chutney. It's pretty awesome. All 5 of us continue to enjoy it. And thank you so much to my engineer, Zig, for engineering us all
Thank
the way
you,
to
Zig.
the end.
Who controlled his laughter because we were hilarious.
That's right. He's very chill. He's very chill.
He's just like, get these fucking guys out of my studio.
That's what he says to me at the end of every show.
Nice.
Get the fuck out of my studio. I'm Devlin Wilder, and you can find me across all social media at Devlin Wilder, and this show at Friend or Foe Pod. That's FAUX. And thank you so much for tuning in. This